Hi there, and welcome to this second lesson introducing basic features in AutoCAD 2012. To get started, go to the application menu and make a new drawing based on the drawing template called ACAD and open it. In this second lesson, we will look at drawing and annotation, and like in lesson 1, we'll start out going to the home ribbon and make a simple line. We can draw it freely, as you can see, or we can use a dynamic input, or a combination where we turn on the auto mode, which only allows us to draw perpendicular lines, meaning lines placed in degree 0, 90, 180 and 270. We'll notice when selecting the lines that we can select them individually, and we also notice that when moving a vertex we so to say split the line, or the lines are being modified individually. Afterwards we'll look at the Polyline, which is placed right next to the line tool. In a similar way we are allowed to do the same, draw freely or draw by using dynamic inputs, and we notice that the lines are connected, the polyline are connected, and when changing a vertex the existing or the rest of the lines are following along, so to say. Other drawing techniques could be drawing circles in different ways, drawing arcs, drawing rectangulars, or drawing ellipses, and try out these yourself. The next one I'll demonstrate is the hats function, which allows us to, for instance, hats a certain area defined by lines or other geometry, hats it solid or hats it with a cross hatch, like you see here. The next function we'll look at is using text. It's placed on the home ribbon, and I will show a small example of how to use multi-line text. We will write a small text string. This is a test using multi-line text, and we will notice that when the text is marked in the property bar, we are allowed to, for instance, changing the text height and using the arrows and the small markers to move around and modify the text. Next small feature I'll show is placed under the ribbon Annotate. It's what's called text styles, and that's defining the font and the height of the text. We'll make a new one called test, and for instance give it the font centric Gothic, and apply that to the style called test, and try to change our small text to the style called test, and you see the difference between the two fonts. Finally, we'll take a look at the dimension tools, and to do that I'll just make a simple line, and I'll jump to my Annotate ribbon, and first of all show you the linear one, which allows us to dimension in a perpendicular way, meaning that we are taking the dimension of the x-axis and along the y-axis. In case we want the specific length of the line, we choose the dimension aligned. And finally, another helpful feature is the dimension, which doesn't give us a text but just shows us in the command line the distance in the x and the y axis. In a similar way, the dimension can be changed as well by pressing the small arrow or by writing DIMSTY, dim dimension style, in our command line. We are able to, in a similar way, create a new style for the dimension style, and we'll call it TestDim STY. We'll base it the text on the text style called test and close this one, and in a similar way we can mark the dimension and change the dimension style. And now the text and the dimension mark should have the same font. Before finishing, please remember that a command is ended with enter, and when you want to stop using a command, you press escape. Okay, bye for now, and hope to see you in lesson 3.